All right, so I'll just start here. I won't take too much more of your time. So I'd first like to introduce myself. My name is Gillian. I'm a student recruitment advisor with the University of Calgary. So on the screen, you can see two QR codes. The one on the right is a QR code that you can scan on your phone to access our digital view book. So you can give that a quick look through or use that to follow along with the presentation. There's lots of great resources on what the University of Calgary is all about. Also the different programs that we have and program requirements. So be sure to check that out. And then the QR code on the left is just a way to get in contact with me. I'll be able to send you my contact information. And then if you have any questions later on that you think of, you can always send those questions over to me. So I actually graduated from the University of Calgary about 3 years ago with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. So I'm really excited to share all my experiences with you guys and answer any questions that you might have about this process. So first, I'd like to acknowledge that we're located on the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. And this includes the Blackfoot Confederacy comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation and Stoney Nakoda. And this includes the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. We're also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So we always just like to acknowledge the land that we are located on. And we've had an Indigenous initiative at the University of Calgary over the last couple of years now. And we just want to make sure that our campus is very welcoming and inviting. So there's lots of different ways that you can get involved and learn a little bit more about Indigenous studies. Our Writing Symbols Lodge hosts events throughout the year that you can participate in, which are really fun. You can take different courses or field studies to learn a little bit more and get involved. So just a little bit about the city. I'm going to just share a little poll with you guys just to see if maybe you've visited Calgary, maybe you live in Calgary and see us, if you've done anything fun or there's something specific that you love to do. So I'll just launch that poll. But basically with our city, how I would describe it is it's sort of a young, vibrant city with lots of different things that you can do. We have concerts, we have some great restaurants, music festivals, night markets, things like that. But there's also a lot of great outdoor spaces where you'll find people and like our students doing a lot of outdoor activities, which are really nice. As you can see, the Bow River runs right along the city there. And you'll oftentimes see people floating down the river in the summer, which is really fun. In that photo, you can see people surfboarding. I've never done this before, but apparently you can do that as well. So maybe you can try that out. I can see quite a bit of you have done the hour drive to Banff, which is not surprising. It's really close, so definitely a popular spot to hit. And a few of you have attended Stampede as well, which is great to hear. It's a big celebration. If you're really into that Western scene, then it's the place to be. Yeah. So I'm glad to see that some of you guys have been around Calgary. Maybe you're from Calgary and done a few fun things around the city. Most notably, visiting the U of C campus is a must. So I'm glad to see a lot of you have done that as well. So that is great to hear. So in Calgary, we do get winter time. It does snow, but a great thing that we have is we're really sunny all year round. So we're considered the sunniest major city in Canada, and that really helps warm up the city, which is really nice. We also get Chinook winds that come in through the mountains, and that also helps warm the city. We're also considered the 5th most livable city in the world, which is an interesting fact. This has a lot to do with how safe the city is, how clean it is, but we also have a low cost of living and lots of job opportunities available. So it's a pretty easygoing place to live. So we're located in the province of Alberta. Even throughout the province, there's lots of different places you can explore and visit. And we really like to use this in our students' education as well. So in Drumheller, which you'll probably be familiar with, our students in archaeology have the opportunity to do a field study there, which is really fun. And then in Canmore, which is really close by, there's an observatory, and our students in astronomy can also do a field study at that observatory. So lots of great ways to utilize the land around us and benefit our students. So here you can see sort of what our campus looks like. As you can see, residence is located right there. So really convenient, close to everything that you'll need. We have different dining halls. We have lots of athletic facilities, lots of different study spots as well. The TFDL was my favorite as a student. I really liked going there to like hang out with friends or just study if I needed to. If you go to like the top floors, then it's like really quiet space with a nice view. So I really enjoyed that as a student. We have all the different amenities located on campus as well. We have health and dental. We even have an optometrist. So lots of great things on campus that are available for you to use. So you don't technically need to leave the campus, but we do have a train that runs right along the campus there. So we have easy access to all around the city and to downtown. We're about like 15 minutes away from downtown. And you get a U-Pass included in your fees, which is really nice. So you have easy access to all of our transit system. One thing I just want to note here, the 23:1 student-faculty ratio, I like to bring this up just because I know there's sometimes concern with students wanting to know about how big class sizes are. And definitely in your first year, you're going to probably experience something that bigger than what you're used to, especially as being homeschool students. But it's not as intimidating as you think. We still have office hours with our profs to give you that one-on-one. And then a lot of the time they break down the class into smaller tutorials so you can get extra help if you need it. And in those larger class sizes, they really do a good job of utilizing different teaching methods to make sure it's engaging for the students. So you can definitely expect that. And then once you progress into your degree and become more specialized, your class sizes will shrink significantly. So in my first year, I had like a very general sociology course that I took that usually everybody takes. So it was in an auditorium, and it was maybe with like 200 people, so quite big. But then in my following years, I had class sizes that went down to like 30. At one point I had 10 people in my class, so it gets a lot smaller. So when you guys get to university, you're gonna most likely be focusing on your academics, I'm sure, but it's also really important for you to look at different clubs that you can join, ways you can get involved within the community as well. And clubs are a really great way for you to meet new people and like meet people that you share similar interests with, or just trying out something new or something that you really like to do. And it kind of like heightens your overall university experience. So at the beginning of the year, we have clubs week, so you can kind of shop around and figure out what club you're interested in. So I would really recommend you to do that. It's also a really great way for you to build your transferable skills. So like communication, leadership, all those are really important. So do make sure you check out some of the different clubs we have, and we have a lot available. There's faculty specific clubs, there's just random clubs like you can see on there. We have food clubs, we have a K-pop club. So lots of different things that you're most likely going to find something you're interested in. If you can't for some reason, then you can always create your own club with 10 other people. But this is a really great part of university. So in your first year, maybe choose a few that speak out to you and It'll be a lot of fun, I promise. So like I mentioned, we have a lot of athletic facilities located on campus, like the Aquatic Center. We have a racquetball center as well. The Olympic Oval is very well known. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's got the fastest ice in the world. And sometimes you'll see Olympians training on there, which is really cool. We also have the Outdoor Center. And this is a really cool facility that you can rent like pretty much any athletic equipment that you can think of. So if you've never gone snowshoeing before, you can just go there, rent some equipment, and then head up to the mountains for the day. And you also get a discount as a student, so definitely use that to your advantage. There's also intramural sports that are available as well. So if you want to, get involved with a more casual team sport, then definitely check those out as well. And all of these are included in your fees, so you can definitely take advantage of them. So at our university, we're known as the DINOS. Our little mascot, well, big mascot, he's a dinosaur, little red dinosaur, I guess. You might be familiar with another red dinosaur as mascot, but our mascot's name is Rex. And we have 19 varsity teams and 9 club teams to choose from. So if you're interested in joining one of those teams, then you can go into DINOS UCalgary and get in contact with the coach there. And that's sort of how you would get scouted. But if you're not interested in, joining a varsity team, that's totally fine. We have a lot of different sporting events throughout the year that you can get involved in and go cheer the team on. They're a lot of fun. Sometimes they have free tuition that they give out during these events, so really great incentive to go. But they're just really fun to get involved with. You can meet other people and get in the school spirit. We also have a lot of different services located on our campus. And these are really great resources for you to use as a student, especially in your first year. I think it offers you a lot of great help since you're, in that transition period from high school into university. We have the student wellness services. They're really great if you're not feeling well, or maybe you're feeling stressed about that transition, or you're feeling stressed out about exams. You can go to them for help. They also have puppy therapy sessions during final exams and midterm season. So that is a huge plus. An amazing, fun experience. You're just like in a room with a bunch of dogs hanging out with them, and it really helps to relieve a lot of that stress. There's also the Student Success Center. They're there to help with anything academic related. So if you're having trouble with multiple choice exams or essay writing, you can set up an appointment with them. The Career Services is a great resource as well. If you're looking for jobs, they'll help with your resumes and your cover letters. They also have job mock interviews, so definitely check them out. I actually volunteered with them as a student, so they're a great office, and I learned a lot working with them, so definitely check them out. One thing I really like to talk about is study abroad. I think it's a really unique experience, especially like traveling as you study. You're not going to really experience that outside of university. It's a whole new experience. It's a great way for you to explore new countries and be immersed within their culture. You can meet a lot of different people from around the world, which is really cool. And it's also something that you can put on your resume. So great plus, and you can also get your courses out of the way, which is really nice. Currently, we have a globalization from home opportunity just because our students currently can't travel, but it still gives them that opportunity to globalize and explore new places as well. But you most likely won't do your study abroad until maybe your second, third, maybe fourth year. So there's still a lot of time. Things might change, and soon enough, our students will be able to go travel around the world again. So I actually did a group study in my last year, and this is where you go to a country for a smaller period of time with a group of other students from the University of Calgary. And this was actually tailored towards my degree. So it was called Experiencing Japanese Business. And basically a group of 20 of us went to Japan for a whole month. And it was so much fun. Like we got to tour around Tokyo, Osaka, we went to Kyoto as well. It was so much fun. Like we got to really learn about the Japanese culture. We got to learn about the different business practices between Canada and Japan. We visited different Japanese companies as well. Ate tons of ramen. It was the best experience ever, and that's where I met some of my closest friends. So I would really encourage you to look into different study abroad programs, and it'll really give you a unique experience. So we also have different ways that you can sort of elevate your university experience and help you for when you graduate from university. Co-op and internships may be something that you're familiar with. This gives you an opportunity to get some work experience done and get paid as well during that time. So really beneficial, lots of different placements that you can be put in, and you're basically applying to the jobs on your own. So it's like a real world experience. This really helps for when you graduate from university. Employers will be looking for this sort of thing. So if your program has a co-op or internship, I would really recommend connecting with the faculty to learn a little bit more about that process. If your program does not have a co-op or internship, there's also different ways that you can gain really beneficial experience. And that would be through all of the different research opportunities that we have on our campus. This is where you can get really good hands-on experience. There's sometimes some paid opportunities, or you could go abroad maybe. One of my close friends, she was an anthropology major and she already graduated. But during her last year, she actually got the chance to go to Croatia with her prof and work on a research project and got paid as well. So lots of cool opportunities like that. And that was just a matter of her connecting with her prof and being invited to go on this research project with her just because they developed that relationship. So maybe some of you are from the Calgary area or close by, or maybe you're farther away. So you might be thinking about living on campus. And I think this is a really great opportunity for you to become immersed within our community. I didn't personally get the chance to live on residence. I lived in Calgary and I didn't know that was a thing to do. So I feel like I kind of missed out a little bit on that experience and really becoming connected with that community. But a lot of the friends that I had that lived on residence absolutely loved it. They had so much fun. And it's a really great way for you to meet some of your closest friends, which is really nice. We have a new All You Care to Eat meal plan program available for students. So you just go to the dining center 3 times a day, eat as much as you need. So really convenient. And like I said, it's right on campus. So it's close to everything that you need, really close to your classes, which is nice as well. And so if you are interested in living on campus, then you just make sure that you submit the application before May 1st to ensure that you have a room. And we usually pair students off with with the roommate. There are single rooms available, but they're lottery based, so they're sort of chosen randomly. But in our application, if you know somebody who's also going to the University of Calgary, you can put each other down and then room together. Or if not, then we have a little questionnaire that you'll fill out and we'll pair you off with somebody that you'll most likely get along with, which is really nice. So these are all the different faculties we have. I have a little poll here again, just to see maybe what program you're interested in. So I'll just launch that and then I might be able to talk about a few. But as you can see, these are all our different faculties that are available. This is located in your view book with all the different programs that we have. So you can take a look at that later on. Maybe you're not really sure what program you're interested in yet, and that's totally fine. When I was in grade 12, I had no idea what program to choose, so don't worry. I see there's somebody interested in perhaps the Schulich School of Engineering, which is great. They are a named faculty, wonderful faculty that's really close-knit, but they have a lot of great opportunities. They have internship programs available. They have a lot of different clubs that you can join and get some really good experience. We actually had some students, I think like 2 years ago, they were in a robotics club and built a solar car, and that actually got entered into a competition, and they beat out Harvard, which is really impressive. So those are some of the things that you could maybe have on your resume, which would be really cool. There's also interest in the arts, which is really nice. They're a nice, diverse faculty, lots of different programs to choose from. As you can see on that slide there, they take about half of the slide, and you can also customize your degree as well. So if you're interested in a few different things, you can always maybe do a double major if that's what interests you. There's also interest in sciences, which is also a great faculty. They have lots of different programs to choose from, and they also just created the new science internship program. So that's really exciting. All of our science students have the opportunity now to complete a full paid internship. So they can get some experience, as well as there's lots of research opportunities for them as well. There's also some interest in health sciences, which is great, really good if you're interested in research. Recruitment School of Education, also really great faculty, where you can do either a 4-year or a 5-year combined degree. And the 5-year combined degree, you can pair that with mathematics or science, for example, and then you complete that within 5 years. So I would recommend looking into that. If that's something that interests you, you can get 2 degrees within 5 years. I also have noticed that a few of you are interested in like the other programs that I mentioned in the second question, like med, law, architecture, social work. So with those programs, you just want to be aware that you would complete a undergraduate degree program first, and then you apply into those programs later on. And with architecture, for example, so you would complete your 4-year undergrad, but in your second year, you have the opportunity to add a minor in architecture and design into your 4-year degree, and that will reduce the number of years for your master's of architecture from 3 to 2 years. So that's pretty nice. With medicine and law, you would do any undergraduate degree, and then you can apply to those programs. Same with social work, but maybe you could do like 2 years of your undergrad and then make sure you complete the social work 201 course and then apply for social work. And when I say any program, you can really choose any program that you're interested in. And I would really recommend choosing something that you actually find an interest in and you know you can perform well in that program, just because they'll be looking for a high GPA, but also looking to see what sort of jobs are available with that undergraduate degree. Maybe down the road you don't want to go into med school or law school, or you want to take a year and work before applying. That way you'll know kind of what's ahead of you and be prepared for graduation. And even if you're not sure what program to choose, or you already know, it's a really good idea to do a little bit of that research beforehand in high school, just to give you a better idea. So here we have some other programs that are available as well. So like I said, this will be found in your view books. And you'll see the little footnotes there in the view book. If you're wondering if your program has a co-op or internship available, you'll be able to see that in the footnotes. So a few things I'd like to mention just about some programs. So I saw there was interest in health sciences. So when you're applying, you do need to submit a supplementary essay upon application. They are very research and essay based, so they do want to see, you know, if you have the right skills for the program, if you'd be a good fit. And then with the fine arts programs like dance or music, you do need to audition for, and then visual studies, you need to submit a portfolio. One thing I'd like to mention here, our application has already opened as of October 1st. So hopefully some of you have already applied. If not, that's okay, but I would really recommend that you apply as soon as you can. And that way you'll just be able to submit your application, all of your documents, and then we'll be able to evaluate you as sooner than later. So really recommend, it's a really easy process to submit your application. We're really just looking at your 5 required courses. Other than health sciences, we also need your supplementary essay, but we're just looking at your transcripts to base evaluation on. So the application shouldn't take you more than like an hour to complete. So on to homeschool applicant information. So basically the curriculums that we will be able to evaluate you on include, if you're doing a Canadian curriculum, we'll look at your provincial diploma examinations based on those required courses for the program that you're interested in. And then we'll also be able to look at if you're maybe taking a US curriculum, but we will require those SAT tests to use towards evaluation. And then there's a few other curriculum, like different international curriculums as well, that we'll be able to take. So I'm sure you're aware of what curriculums you can use, but this just gives you a better idea of what we'll be able to take. And then we also have a few additional processes. Maybe they fall under your situation. Diverse qualifications is available to apply to if you've exceeded excellence outside of academics, or you've undergone certain hardships throughout high school. You can apply for diverse qualifications just to be looked at under a different lens. And then the Indigenous admissions process is also available. If you identify on your application that you're Indigenous, then we will always look at you through a standard process first. But if you don't meet the requirements, then we'll be able to look at you differently as well. We also have dual credit available. So if you've taken some post-secondary level courses, you can get course credit for them as long as you haven't completed more than 10 courses. Then you'll be looked at as a high school student. So these are a few different exams and tests that we'll take and evaluate you based on. So of course the Alberta diploma exams, BC as well, like so I mentioned the different provincial diploma exams, SAT and AP exams as well as IB. So for maybe you are missing a specific required course for your program, then you can just take an SAT subject exam to fulfill that requirement, for example. And then we'll take those 5 required courses and take the average of those courses to base your admission off of. So like I said, make sure you apply early so we can evaluate you early. Some seats can fill up early, so you just want to make sure that everything is in and you have been evaluated before that happens. And how the application process works, we use a top-down approach. So we take the highest grades and then we work down from there. So it's never a first come, first serve process. But like I said, some programs can fill up, and if we haven't gotten to your application because you applied like March 1st, then, which is the deadline, then we might not be able to offer you a seat even if you meet the requirements. So here you can just see some of the SAT subject equivalencies. Like I mentioned, say you're missing Math 30-1 for your engineering program, then you can take the Mathematics Level 1 course, and that will supplement the Math 30-1 requirement. So like I said, we want to make sure you've submitted your application and then all of your documents get submitted. So the deadline to submit your transcripts is March 15th, but as soon as you make an application, you'll create a student center, and then from there you can like immediately upload your initial documents that you have. So that's a really easy process. And then we'll always be evaluating you based on your final documents as well. So you'll just want to make sure those are sent in by August 1st. And if you're taking like an online course, just in the winter semester, you just want to make sure that all of your courses are completed by June 30th for us to use and evaluate in the application process. Here you can see a little breakdown of what our tuition and fees look like. So this is for a full year, and this is also located in your view book for you to take a look at later. We've also sort of estimated out books and supplies, your living expenses, and then if you're planning on living in residence, then we have that amount with the meal plan program as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can actually fund your education. Scholarships are a really great way to do that. We have a lot of money to give out to our students, so I would really encourage you to apply. And some of the scholarships that we have, you don't even need to apply to. We have automatic awards that are available for students. So if you have a 95% or higher, for example, then you get like $5,000. We also have that IB diploma entrance scholarship. So if you've completed the IB diploma and you've received a grade of 35 or higher, then you get $2,000 automatically. Then there are scholarships that you can apply to. We have the Prestige Awards, which have a lot of higher value involved with them. And basically the deadline is December 1st. So another great reason for you to apply early. But the application process is you just submit one application, and then it includes all the different scholarships that are available within the Prestige Awards. And we do the rest of the work, and we figure out what you're eligible for and then allocate those amounts out. And then we also have high school scholarships and awards. And it's the same process as the Prestige Awards. You just make one application, and then it includes all the different scholarships that are available. And there's lots of different like random scholarships that are available. So definitely apply to both of these, and you'll most likely get some funding. Here's a few examples of some of those scholarships and awards that you could maybe get. As you can see, some of them are based on merit, some of them are based on just extracurriculars that you've done, or maybe you need certain financial help, then you might be able to just get a scholarship just because you filled out the high school scholarship application. There's also external awards available. So these aren't evaluated based on from our office, but you can go to our website, and there's a lot of resources on there that can help you find some external awards that are available. So definitely check that out. And there's also just a lot of other information about our awards on the UCalgary Awards website as well. So if you're curious to see what scholarships are available, you can go to that website and search for different awards and what the eligibility is. You can also fund your tuition through student loans. So if you are an Alberta student, you can just go onto studentaidalberta.ca. And then that's how you'll be able to apply and also just learn more. And then if you're outside of Alberta, then you can go to canlearn.ca to get more information about your specific province. And if you have any questions at all regarding the student loan process, our financial aid team can also help you. So if you just contact Enrollment Services or email finaid@ucalgary.ca, then they can help you out. So we're nearing the end here. This is also in your view book, just a breakdown of different important dates that you'll want to consider. So like I said, March 1st is the deadline to apply, but be sure to apply earlier than that. And December 1st is the deadline to apply for your Prestige Awards. So once you submit that application on your Student Center, you will be able to apply for scholarships and awards. So be sure to do that before December 1st. The high school scholarship and award application is like the general one. The deadline is March 1st. And then you'll just want to make sure your final transcripts are in August 1st, and then you'll be starting in September, which would be really exciting. We do have campus tours available right now, and also throughout this open house event, you can check out some virtual campus tours. But if you wanted to come to our campus in person and tour around the grounds, then you can always book a campus tour with us on our website, and you'll get to meet our wonderful tours coordinator, Carly. So that's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, please share them in our chat, or if you want to turn your mic on, you can do that as well. But other than that, that is my contact information. That's where you can reach me. Those are our different socials that we have as well. The podcast is a really great resource to use if you want to learn a little bit more about the faculties or different research that's going on around the university. Our YouTube also has tons of great videos that you can check out, like virtual campus tours. Yeah, visit us on our socials. Our Choose UCalgary always has up-to-date information about the application process as well. So thank you so much for listening to me. I'll leave the floor for questions, but thank you so much for being here and just, you know, listening to me talk. I'll also take a look at the chat to see if there's questions. I see that Tanner's been able to answer quite a few of them already. So I see there's a question there regarding portfolios as an alternative to diploma or SAT marks. So unfortunately, we're not using portfolios. We do have to look at either like the diploma or SAT subject exam to evaluate for admissions. I had a great question about diversity on the campus, and I'll just address everybody. It's a great diverse campus that we have. I always felt really welcoming, and I have lots of friends from all over the world. So I would consider it a very welcoming, diverse campus. We have different religious affiliated clubs that you can join. They hold like different events throughout the year as well on our quad, like our open green space, which is really fun. So yeah, there's lots of diversity on our campus. I see Daria asked if you have to send in your transcripts. So you would, like I said, you could upload that on your student center, and then that's how we would be able to evaluate your application, because we need to see those 5 required courses for your specific program, which you can see in the view book. But yeah, we would. Hopefully that answers your question. So if you are thinking of applying next year, typically our application dates remain the same each year. Like, it's been October 1st for a couple of years now, so most likely will be the same. But you do want to just always check our view books or resources on our website just to make sure you have the right dates, because they might change. But it's typically around this time, like October. So that's when you can expect for the next application to open. But thank you for all your questions. These have been great questions. I can see there were a lot. Hopefully, I'm just looking to see if I missed anybody. And thank you to Tanner for doing a phenomenal job in the chat. Oh, that's right. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you are from Alberta, then you do not need to submit your transcripts yourself. We'll automatically receive them through Apply Alberta. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Just if you're like outside of the province, or like taking using a different curriculum, then, and it's not through Alberta, then you'll need to submit it. But if it is through Apply Alberta, then you'll be good to go. You don't need to do anything. And like on your student center, you might see it's lingering in your to-do list, but it'll say like, we will receive your transcripts on your behalf, and you don't need to upload anything. Yes, thank you, Daria. My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Tanner just mentioned if your grades are reported to the Alberta Ministry and the diplomas are completed, then we'll just receive your grades automatically. And then with the SAT subject tests, those need to be sent to us directly. Also mentioned, this is being recorded, like this session, so you'll be able to have access to it in the future if you want to refer to a slide or just watch it again. You should. They should all be recorded if they're through Zoom, I believe, even if it's not, I think they're all being recorded and they'll be uploaded. So you should have access. But then some events or some presentations are running multiple times during the day. So you'll probably be able to catch a few of them that you might have missed in this block. And you are most welcome. If you have any other questions, you can email me or give us a call, or you can ask more questions in our chat as well. But if not, you're also free to go. You don't have to linger around if you don't want to. But thank you so much. So with visas, our office doesn't actually have anything to do with those. Our International Student Services has some immigrant advisors there. So definitely contact ISS if you have any questions about study permits. They'll be able to help you. A great question. And that's right. Tanner just mentioned that they are in the student experience booth today. So you can head over to their booth and speak with somebody to learn more. But yeah, the student experience booth has all the different services that I mentioned as well. So you can learn a little bit more about the different resources that we have on campus. And be sure to chat with all the different faculties that are here today so you can learn a little bit more about the programs and speak with some members of the faculty, which is really helpful with your decision process. Thank you everybody for all of your great questions and for joining us in our session. Hopefully we were able to make your process a little bit easier and give you some helpful information. It was wonderful presenting to you guys. I'm very happy to. But let us know if you have any questions later on. We can help you out. And I'll stick around here just until 11. So you're free to leave, but also if you think of any more questions, you can share them with us as well. Or if there's a slide that you want me to go back to, I can also do that as well. Yeah, so we do get a lot of international students on our campus. I think one of my close friends, she was from Saudi Arabia, and she actually like coped with the environment, got used to the environment pretty easily, and she's still here. She's working in Calgary, and she ended up really liking it in Calgary, so she stayed. Um, I think a really great way, especially if you're new to the city, new to the country, is to build a support system on campus, and that would be through clubs, living in residence, all those things that I mentioned. And that honestly really helps a lot if you're new to somewhere. Hopefully that answered your question, but yeah, I would think that it's pretty easy to adapt to the new environment. Like I said, it's really diverse. Um, so yeah, I think it's a good environment for international students for sure. Yeah, thank you, Daria, for your sharing your experience. Yeah, and like I feel like even Calgary, like the city and the whole province, like we're pretty chill. We yeah, and there's like it's so I feel like it's really diverse in all over Canada. So um you'll find different groups of people everywhere, really normal for that. And if you want like a taste of home, there's also different clubs that you can join that are like specifically like cultural clubs or religious affiliated clubs, like I said. So um, helps with your comfort if you need it. So we don't look at like high school ranking or anything like that. We're just looking at those 5 required courses. So we're just evaluating you based on your transcripts. We really do have to just look at the specific high school courses. So that yeah, that's how we would base admission. But great questions. And thank you to Tanner for answering all the questions in the chat um, so wonderfully. Um, so if you apply like early, um, like I said, that's a really good idea to do. Um, you might hear a decision earlier as well, like you'll receive maybe a conditional offer of acceptance. The earliest would be maybe November or mid-November, I guess. But yeah, it's a continuous process as well. So even if you don't receive a conditional offer of acceptance based on the initial grades we receive, if you're like still working on certain courses, then we'll be able to reevaluate you once we receive those. So say you're only doing grade 11 right now, and you submit those to us, but they don't meet the admission requirements, that's totally fine. We just wait until your new grades come in for grade 12, and then we'll reevaluate. And even if you do receive like an early offer of admission, then um, it's still tentative. We'll wait for your final grades to come in to evaluate you for a final offer of admission, if that makes sense. But the decision-making process, it can vary based on the faculty that you're in, based on when you applied as well. So say you applied around this time, like the earliest you can expect is November, like I said, but also sometimes students don't receive an offer of admission, like a tentative offer of admission until like January. I think I didn't receive mine until about, I think January was when I received mine. And then once we receive any grade 12 grades, it's considered a standard admission. So we'll be looking at your 5 required courses and basing admission off of that. No, oh my God, you're asking great questions. I'm happy that you're asking lots of questions. Can we switch majors after we join the university? So definitely that is an option. Say you went into poli-sci, but you're like actually want to go into sociology, you can request for a change of program like after your first year, and then that decision is done through the faculty. So you can definitely do a change of program. Some programs might be harder to switch into than others, so you just want to be wary of that. But you can definitely, that is definitely an option. In my experience, like I did a Bachelor of Commerce degree, and initially I went in with an accounting concentration, and then I decided I didn't want to do that. So then in my like second or third year, I switched into international business. And I would say like within Bachelor of Commerce, it may be a little bit easier to do just because like it's part within the faculty. If you were trying to switch from like an arts program into nursing, that might be a little bit harder than if you were just doing an arts major to a different arts major, for example. All right, so that just concludes our session. If you have any other questions at all, just let me know, and I will be able to answer any of your questions. But thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for asking your questions and listening to my presentation. But I'll let you guys be free to explore all the different booths that we have going on today at Open House. So thank you so much for being here. Bye, everyone.